Hello everyone. I didn't turn my microphone off. It has started out so well today. Hey everyone. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday. Please excuse if I sound stuffy. I got some throat stuff going on, so I got plenty of water, and I got some Ricola here next with me, right here. Sponsored, not sponsored. Hey everyone. Thanks for coming by. Today we are going to be doing. Well, I'm going to, not you. That'd be weird if you'd be editing the pictures that I only have on this hard drive. And I call you a witch. Or a wizard. I don't discriminate. Both of you burning. That wasn't okay. Alright. Starting off great. For those who haven't heard of Beyond the Plating, Beyond the Plating is a blog series that I do where I go to restaurants and kind of learn the story behind the plate. Because I love food photography, but there's always such an interesting story behind it all. And if there isn't, then there's no passion, and I don't want to be there. I don't want to be at your restaurant and we're like, well, this is what I do to make a living. Sometimes that's an interesting story. Sometimes they're just like, whatever. Here it is. I don't want stories like that. And that's why I'm glad I found Leonore. I found out about Leonore and Miguel through a friend of mine, Cat Pascal, over at Farm Burguesa. We did them last, not week, it was like 2 months ago, streaming, and I'm going to check the chat just to make sure everyone can hear me. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. A lot of people on YouTube. It's good to see you there, guys there. I see no one on Facebook, and that's fair. But hey, everyone on YouTube and Facebook. Where was I? Another fair warning. I lose my place a lot. I talk in circles, and just a fair warning. Same with photos. I'll go on a tangent, and I'll be editing something, and then I'll be like, ooh, let me go in this detail. Wait, what was I doing? Happens all the time. And back to Miguel, Cat. She introduced me to Miguel, and said he's got a great story, and he would be a perfect person to do for this. And I'm so glad I did. It was one of the shorter interviews I've ever done, but he's just also well-spoken, succinct, and he knows how to tell a story and make you feel things, but with as few words as possible. That's not the coolest thing about Miguel, but he's just always smiling too. You'll see that in the pictures we go into in just a minute. But coming back to Beyond the Plating, it's a blog that shares people's stories about the food that they create and serve, and the story behind that, which is like their life or their passion or how they got to it and how they interact with the community, which is really important to me. Last one we did was Farm Burguesa, and those are some fantastic people. They've always been kind to me, reached out, was so gung-ho for this project, and so whoever they recommended to me I knew would be much the same way, and Miguel is definitely one of those people. At the beginning of every blog, and if you haven't read the blog, please go to virginiafoodphotography.com. Let me try that again. If you haven't read the blog, go to virginiafoodphotography.com. Go to the blog section. I have, I think, four blogs out right now. Go ahead and read those. It'll give you a good sense of food in my area. I plan to go farther, but right now I'm just sticking to my area. And at the beginning of each blog, and I'm doing it right now, I dedicate it to my mother. Unfortunately, we lost her to cancer in 2002, but she had this such great big passion for food and exploring food. I mean, I grew up thinking it was normal to have so much Asian cuisine, and it's like, what do you mean you haven't had dumplings made in a bamboo steamer, homemade? I thought everyone did that. Nope, that was Mom, and she was fantastic. So this whole blog series is dedicated to her to make sure her passion for food and stuff like that reaches everybody who can possibly do. But I've yacked enough about everything. Also, this mirrored. I hate this. This is why I'm behind the scenes a lot. That's my company, Tailored Images, photography and videography. You need it. The Beyond the Plating logo, made by Amber West, fantastic graphic designer. And if you want to donate, please do. Venmo is that Taylor lost some work because of COVID. That happens. I'm also trying to build a new computer so I can stream more, because I tell you what, my laptop is crying at me. But that's fine. It can suck it up. Let's get to over here. The editing. Fantastic. So this is Lightroom. This is what I use. And you can use whatever software. I use Lightroom a lot more than other photographers do. A lot of photographers actually came up with Photoshop. So any photographers out there, this is how I do it, just because I like to be intimate with my photos. A lot of people go through and just pick out which ones they want to edit and then go back and edit them. I like to look through and see which ones I like and then edit those right there and there, because then I feel more in the moment and connected to the photo. We can see right here, you got Miguel right here. This is my wife, Stephanie. She came along with the shoot. This is actually the only shoot I think she ever came along to. She had the day off and felt like coming to help. So all these photos up here are just me testing spots I wanted to do. And I always start with the headshots because it comes right after the interview. I do the interview with the subject, in this case Miguel, and really learn who they are and what they're about. And it's so corny. I know it's so corny, but it is just so important to know who you're talking to and what's about. And that really affects your portraiture or taking your pictures, because if you're not connected, you're not going to care about the little details. You're not going to care if they smile or they don't. You're not going to care about their posture. Like if someone's like bright upright, got their nice and straight, posture is good, but yet they're not really a happy, outgoing person, you might tell them to relax, because then they're faking it. You don't want fake pictures. Screw that. There's a lot of these pictures I'm just like, I just want Miguel to be Miguel. I don't want to do a commercial shoot where everything is fake. Screw that. People have talents for that. I am not one of those people. I rely on people's openness. And that's actually, I have some skills. One of them, I think, is people open up to me more because I'm no stranger danger. And there's so many people who've been like, I never told anyone that, or I don't know why I told you that. Oh, it's totally fine. I'm glad you people are opening up. I want to start with this one picture of my wife. I loved all these little buildings up in the background, and I definitely wanted to not screw it up. I sometimes do pre-photos to make sure that that I got my focus and my lighting correct, because we had some awesome light coming through a big window, and Steph doesn't like taking her picture, so I really appreciate for her sacrifice here. So if you were at the Farm Burguesa one, I'm gonna have to turn off my mic for a second. Not turn it off. All right, sound might be bad. I'll just be so much louder. First thing I do is set my black point, which I hit Alt on the keyboard, and this big white screen you see is showing you the black point, where it's true black on the histogram up here in the top right. So what I do is I like to mess with this and see, now everything's black. Oh yeah, and since my computer is slowing down, things are not going to be, they're going to be touchy. Very touchy. But what we're doing right now is just see those marks right there. Those are, if it's in the red, that's black. That is true black. So we look up here in the upper left of the photo. That is true black. And I like to set those points. Same with white point. just so I know the bounds. And see, nothing really is... Oh! And everything's white. I have to be less. And I like something to be white. And it looks like the brightest spot's going to be on her head. Excuse me, cough. Water time. But yeah, I really do like this photo. Thank you, Tam. Oh, hey, the chat's there. Hey, everybody. I actually don't like it being that bright because I don't want to lose the information. And as you see, as if I go more white, you lose detail on the wall. And no, thank you. I love the details because it kind of matches this perception of you got a little bit of crack on there, and these are like handmade houses. Steph's looking at their menu. Another thing I like to do is put the clarity up a little bit. It gives a little crunchiness to the photo, a little texture. I love texture. Texture is very important to me. But what bothered me is about this photo is you got this big white spot on really dark bits. Now, if I mess with the shadows, which is, in photography, you have your blacks and your whites. Those are the darkest and the brightest. And then everything in the middle has its highlights or shadows. So your shadows are kind of the blacks, but not too black. So if I crank that up, crank that soldier boy, everything gets brighter because I took all the parts in the shadows and bumped them up. I don't like this look because it looks washed out. So we're going to get that back. And the dark is kind of, it gives a message of some sort. Same with the highlights. If I'm like, oh, that part's too dark, let me put highlights down. That actually doesn't look too bad. If I slam those highlights down, that doesn't look too bad. It kind of matches everything more. There's one other thing we can do without messing with the highlights. There's this thing called a graduated filter. I'm not going to make a dumb joke about it because I was going to say his name. I'm not going to do it. What this does, it's an actual thing you can get for your camera, which it's a way to make a picture. It's got neutral density, which makes things darker, but gradually. So at the top of the lens, it's really dark, and then it goes down, there's less and less and less until there's none. That's usually helps out with sky. If the sky is bright, but everything out here is pretty well exposed, it knocks it down. And what we're going to do, oh no. Look at the sun that comes that way. But what this is doing is it's giving me a section to play with. Let me reset that. But, give us a good point. If I just up the exposure in this corner, things flatten out a little bit. I still get those dark shadows that are very directional, but to me it evens out the photo more. And it's all personal preference. If you're like, well, I liked it other ways, that's totally cool. I don't know why I'm the best Andrea, but thanks for coming. Hey, and thanks everyone from the No Pants and Isolation Nation. Thank you so much for coming by, hanging out with me, and some pictures. As we're doing that little bright spot, it's still not even, so I'm going to definitely bring those highlights down and make it more even. And to me, this is better already. It's still that quality of photo I wanted. Still got some shadows, which is really cool. Still got some darkness. There's still contrast. And all that contrast does, it just takes the blacks and takes the whites and separates them like they're trying to do in the United States. Black Lives Matter. If you have a problem, leave. It takes those two extreme points and throws them to the edge of the histogram. And that's what contrast is. As a professional photographer, you mess with your highlights, your shadows, your whites, and blacks to make your own contrast. Another thing I like to do is the vibrance. So there's saturation and vibrance to help pop color. Saturation is very red based. So if you see me just crank that, it makes it look orange and adds more reds. I mean, I don't like it, but vibrance still makes you punch color, but it's less just red based. And red base is bad. Not all the time. Sometimes it's great. But I like to crank that vibrance up to give a little more color punch. And then, last thing I like to do, depending what lens I'm using, up in the upper right by the histogram you can see, so it's 50 millimeter. That's a great portrait lens. If I have a wide lens, I can correct some things. We'll get to that when I get there. But I also like to add a little vignette. Not too much. I don't want to be heavy-handed, but just a little bit, because most vignettes really add a sense of depth. And I really, really, really enjoy that. So this picture's done. Export, export, export settings. Oh, that was for something previous. You're going to see all my secrets. Don't look. Don't look. Alright, select folder. And I always like to get the custom name beyond the plating. I'm not sure. Leonore. Export. Perfect. And hopefully this is the last time Steph's on here for her own sake. She hates being on camera. Thank you so much. She texted me. No. Oh! Andrea Gordon, thank you so much for... what a... Lightroom likes to do that sometimes. Just freak out. Andrea, thank you so much for donating to my Venmo. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it's going to help get a new computer. That's for sure. Alright, man of the hour. Miguel. This guy... So, I have an Uncle Paul on my mom's side who just always has a smile on his face. He's always on the go. Miguel is my Uncle Paul. Forgot Uncle Paul's name for a second. It's been a day. And this dude is just so positive. And when you ask him what his favorite part about being a restaurant owner or making food, and he says it's the smile and reaction people get when they eat it. That really drives him to do better and to do more. Who can't relate with that? That's like, and not to bring the stream down, I did stand-up comedy for a while. And one of the reasons I love stand-up comedy so much is how much comedy does for people. You guys know, a lot of you, Isolation Nation, watch SDSC and go to Nowhere to Comedy Club. Laughter does a lot. The best I've ever felt in my life is right after my mom passed away and I made my dad laugh. I don't think I'll be able to top that feeling for a very long time. That was the best feeling I've ever had. And so therefore, you like chase the dragon to go for like, hey, I want to make people happy. And Miguel's way to do that is make food. He has this shirt on that says, I love arepas. Because arepas are great. And that's another part of his restaurant. Oh, hit the brakes. Brake hitting. Leonore is an Italian restaurant. And he actually came from a local pizza place that is the best pizza place in Roanoke. Full stop. It's like when Steph and I were like, hey, we want to have pizza, but we want to enjoy it a lot. We go to Grace's. And Grace's is a staple in our area. I believe his brother is the one who runs that place. And he worked there for a long time and he decided, no, I want to do my own stuff. So he opened an Italian restaurant called Leonore. But he has these Venezuelan roots that he cannot ignore. So I think it was something, I didn't listen to the story beforehand. This is all kind of memory stuff. He just one day was just like, I want to make arepas. And the one day he made them, every time someone would come back, hey, do you have arepas again? Do you have arepas again? And people kept begging for his arepas. So then it became a staple. And now his menu, while mostly still Italian, has a lot of Venezuelan items on there. I got a Venezuelan lasagna once from there. That was fantastic. And talking with these people, like if you look at my backlog of blogs, it started off with Ecology, which was an Asian restaurant. Mama Crockett's Donuts, great donut place. Inca Grill, and Farm Burguesa. 3 of those restaurants were created by people of another nationality than my own. And they all have great stories and great things that teach me. And one of the things that it taught me was how much immigration was in the whole world. Growing up in the United States, we were taught that, like, oh yeah, America's the melting pot. And as I'm talking to all these restaurant owners, I'm finding out that's true, but it's not the melting pot. Peru was known for having a lot of Japanese immigrants, Japanese and Chinese. So their cuisine is very, well, it's very fusion, but it's very influenced by Japanese cooking. A lot of South American countries had a huge influx of Italian immigrants. And I've been finding this out not only from Miguel, from people like Kat, but also these documentaries that I love. Street Food is on Netflix. Watch that stuff. Chef's Table, Street Food. That helped me start the blog. You learn so much about food in itself and how cultures of food and stuff like that are a melting pot altogether. Oh, yep, see? I went on a tangent again. Let's talk about Miguel. Go watch those series. Don't do it right now. I still love all you. Oh, I should check the Facebook chat just in someone's screaming at me. Oh, good. No, we're good. Good. All right, Miguel. Wonderful smile. My focus is off. The focus is on his ear. I'm trying to get a new camera too. So a lot of times I'm looking through here, looking for. There we go. So this is well exposed. Great depth of field that I want. Just like that really shallow depth of field, that brick wall just melts away in the background. My only problem is this is a fake Miguel smile. You see the real Miguel smile right here. And this one's a little muted. Still doesn't mean we're not going to use this photo. But I definitely want to try to salvage this one, even though if it's a little soft focus. If I bring out some of these darks and kind of force them, what's that called? Focus, some sharpness. I still think we could use this photo. So let's go ahead and do that. Top right, you see this histogram. This is what I'm going off most of the time. I use my eyeball sometimes, but sometimes it lies to me. So we're going to start with our black points. I'm not going to do the trick I did before. Now that you saw it, that's what I'm doing in the histogram. These two triangles tell me where my points are. So I want to put this black down. Bring the whites up just a little more. And you can see the whites are affecting, mainly his face. Gosh, Steph tells me a lot of times I notice focus more than anyone else does, but this smile needs to be shown. Do a little bit of clarity, and actually I've been doing less clarity recently because I see that it darkens some things and kind of muddies it up. So let's try not to do that right now and make our own contrast. Not going to bring the blacks down. There's a lot of shadows, so I'm going to bring that up. I want to elongate this curve a little bit and maybe bring the texture down. I like to mess with texture just to see if maybe I can fudge something. Texture's fine. Dehaze is something I've been using a lot more now. If I go this way, it makes things darker but more clear, and it adjusts the color temperature, which I don't want to do. I don't want to make his face red. No, thank you. Unsubscribe dehaze. Okay, so that makes it more green. That makes it more purple. That's something called tint. There's two main color things in photography and video, technically, is your color temperature and your tint. Color temperature is, you ever see those photos when you take as a kid? It's like, why is the whole thing blue? Well, that's because your color temperature was very blue. Or your color temperature can be very yellow. Perfect in balance will be something like this. A lot of times I'll add a little yellow to add some nice warmness to it. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to concentrate on maybe a little vibrance. Let's go to something I don't like going to a lot, sharpening. I do more in landscape photos, which maybe I'll do sometime. But I'm just going to, and I'm not really going to explain this because I want to see if I can. So we faked a little bit of sharpness. A little bit. And that's okay. I don't mind this picture. There's a big specular highlight on his nose. Sometimes people don't like it, some people not. We're going to go, I don't want clone, I want heal. And I mess with these settings a lot. Oopsie daisy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on his nose. Using this thing. This will sample from somewhere else. It's decided his forehead. That's fine. try to find something similar to his nose. And the highlight's gone. Ooh, actually, I don't really like how it did that. Let me reset that. I want to make it a little wider because I don't want... There's a slight ring. Yeah, let's go to the beard. It's his nose. Okay, beard. Oh. Hey, Andrea, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for the tip, and I will see you later. Probably SDSC sometime front row. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming by, Andrea. Oh yeah, back to what I'm being mad about. Why the beard? I'm clearly on a nose, computer. Let's just shove this somewhere else. Something more responsible. There's still an edge. I wonder if I mess with feather. Now I'm just problem solving on the fly. There we go. I can barely notice that. No, I can really notice that. What the shit? I'm a little upset right now. How? Man. Maybe I should just let it be. Clearly the program is telling me to knock it off. Maybe if I do it over somewhere here. If I increase the feather, decrease the feather. And now lack of talking. Taylor doesn't like talking when he's problem solving. That's better. Okay, yep, that's good. All right, we got it. A little overdriven. Okay, I'll put it back. All right, so now we got some bright notes. I love a right buzz. I do too. And then I add a little golden color just to warm things up. Sometimes it doesn't look natural, and this one I'm actually not going to because there's so much red that we could actually probably mess with. Red. Now, the only problem with this is it's a hammer, not a chisel solution. Like chisel's very more detail, hammer is just like knock it off. This is a hammer. This is a hammer solution. So if I knock down the saturation, you can see those red parts that I'm having trouble with just turn to gray, and I don't want that. So a trick I've been using is upping the luminance of my red, which just tends to like match the skin tone better. And sometimes I'll change the hue to try to match his face. But if I match it too much, then it looks washed out. I'm okay with this. And there's some pinks in there. Maybe I can get out of there. Put more pink in. No, pink out. Yep, see, not doing anything. Maybe it's purple. Maybe it's purple. No, his shirt's got some purple in it. Damn. Alright, not messing with that anymore. I can also move the tint, but the tint is very heavy-handed. Yeah, we'll just add some glow in there. Add some vignetting, even though I've kind of made my own vignette. Oh, looks like more people coming in. Mike and Lola. Hi, I joined later in case it was already mentioned. What tool is this work on? Oh, this is Lightroom, and I'm in the develop tab of it. You can't see the develop. I've kind of hidden it up there because I wanted the concentration to be on the picture. I think that answers the question. If not, yell at me more. That's totally fine. But so this picture, the focus is in the wrong spot. It's back here, but I can't let the smile go. This smile means more to me than an actual focus. So we're gonna do that. Now we go to a little less full Miguel smile, but still it's perfectly in focus. And photographers, if you're out there, focus is on the eyes. I know that. For non-photographers, eyes. And then let's see. So one of the things is this is it's properly exposed, but it's a little bright. So this is one of those times. First we start with our black points. Perfect. When that's just solid white, that means I'm in the black point. Now let's go to whites. Now this one I don't have to hit a white point because that means I'm overexposing things. But as you can see, like, the contrast is happening. If I leave it on this, it's like, oh yeah, that's a fine picture, but then I increase the whites a little bit, I get more definition. That's what I'm trying to do. And everyone just shouting out Lola. Hi, Lola. This is one, probably clarity will do a lot. Add a nice little crunchiness. The Crunch Master J. I don't know who that is. Maybe me. Time for a water. Oh. Whew. Alright. Back to Mr. Miguel. Oh, look at those eyes. Okay. His smile might be soft, but his eyes tell you everything. I love that. And this one will go quicker because it's exposed correctly. We'll up the vibrance a little bit, get some more color. And if we do, sometimes I'll put saturation in. See, that actually just warms it and makes the brick wall come out more. I'm okay with that. This one's pretty much done. I just gotta add my vignetting that I like. This one actually might do better without. So, this vignetting is another way to tell a story. Right now we see his arms and everything. We see his whole posture. But if we bring the vignetting in, then we concentrate on his face. We're sending these people directly to his face. And I don't mind either, so I'm going to do both. So I got this heavy vignette in here. And I'm going to export that. But then I'm going to export one without as well, because it's just another brighter image. And I think that is necessary. Alright. Let's continue. Lightroom, stop! Stop! Oh, use unique names. Alright. I freaked him out. He's like, you just exported that. Name it different, please. I'm like, alright, fine. You do it. He's like, thank you. That's Lightroom's voice. Oh, Lightroom, please. This is... My computer is struggling a little bit. Not too bad. And see, all I have to do... This is the great thing about Lightroom. All I have to do is go, bing, same thing. And I like this one a lot, so I'm going to export it too. It's only a slight difference, but I'd rather give them more options. Just making sure if my wife texted me. Okay. Gotta check in with my... Oh, Lightroom, you are making me mad. This is going to happen from time to time. And that's fine. See, like, in this one, I just did... The smile is so muted. I don't even like the edit on that one. Alright, let's go back to square one. Got our black point. I'm going to send it further down. Alright, white point. See, and I'm looking on this one. As I go farther, I'm getting color splotches that I'm not a fan of. I'm getting good. So in this, I would send the whites to get a white point, but bring the highlights down a little bit. Let's see if I can work with this highlight again. I'm wondering if that's what's setting me off. Now, does that flatten his nose too much? Yeah. I'm going to undo that. Because then I would have to do it for all of his face. And then it just looks weird. Of the... if all of them are like that. It's still a decent. And then I still want to get some color in there. Let's golden it up a little bit. And maybe I won't mess with the vibrance. Let's crunch it. Add some crunchy... Yeah, I like that. Those pinks are bothering me, though. They're just around here, so let's just lighten those up. Yep, that looks better. And the only, as you might have seen, when I brought the luminance up from the red, the brick wall got brighter, and that's fine. Because then I can bring down the highlights even more. And that'll only affect his face. I was just kidding. I meant the shadows more. There we go. I like that. That works. That works indeed. And now, cross arm man, and we get that full Miguel smile back. But I almost bet you I missed the focus again. Well, Lightroom doesn't want to show me. Yep, Oh, I missed that by a mile. Where did it even get focus on? It's not even on his face. Is it on the arepas? Ah, guys, the camera loves arepas. I'll tell you much. But I might have gotten it later. See, there it is. I got it. Well, not fully, but enough. Like, out here it looks like I did. Wonder if I got a better one. That one's still same smile. That's good. And I'm just kind of trying to choose one from the bunch. No! We must have Miguel's smile. Yes, I like this one. Alright. Back in action. Black point. White point. And some crunch. Captain Crunch. Never sing again, Taylor. You're right, Taylor. I should never do that again. Add some vibrance. Yeah, and I like adding little gold to it. It just really brings out color. And like right here, I'm seeing some dryness on the elbow, and I'm not sure what to do about it. My first instinct is to go in here and be like, let's just straight up replace this with something. I don't agree with your placement again. We're gonna come down here. Yep. We're gonna fake that. Does that look weird? No, it does not. Ah, you got some dry elbows, Miguel. I love you, man. Some dry elbows. Which, you know what? Now that I think about it, this one was egregious. But as I look at his hands, it shows the hands and elbows of someone who works in an Italian restaurant. Oh, no! I hit... Oh, no. No, please. Oh. Well, here's what a filter does. Create a filter. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Oh, actually. That looks dope. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. But now I actually might do that one. Just for kicks and giggles. I kind of like that. I'm going to send that. But then I'm going to reset everything. So I can do what I call true color. Lightroom, please, for the love that is my love and the love that's in the chat, please could you just behave for a minute. My computer's like, OBS and Lightroom? Go fuck yourself. And I'm like, I will not. There's a stream happening. Sir, this is a Wendy's. That's my favorite little comment to make. Alright. Let me put a little more gold in it. Let's go down to Chinatown. Nope. Vignetting. Yeah, I want a vignette there. Good. Smile from Miguel. Now, another thing. Yes, use unique names. I don't care. This is what we call portrait, which is the up and down. And then the other way is called landscape. Just because most portraits are up and down, landscapes are side to side. If I catch any of you capturing video in portrait up and down, there's going to be some words. And some not nice ones. Video is in landscape always. Unless you're on TikTok, which won't be a problem soon, I guess. Oh, Ron's having trouble. Oh, no. I don't know if I can. I don't know how, Ron. I'm sorry. I'll be more descriptive for you, Ron. I promise. I promise. Okay. Let's look at Grumpy Miguel. Even Grumpy Miguel is happy. Look at this. What do we love? A arepas. I love just the his hands are just like, yes, I work for a living. Deal with it. Yeah, this one's the arepa's a little more. And I'm going to start with vignetting. And then we're going to go down to... Alright, I don't want to get too dark in here. There's my black point. Yeah, I like that. White point's fine. I don't have to mess with that. I'm going to mess with a highlight, though. Because I still want it to be green, because that's what his shirt is. And I bet if I add a little crunch... little vibrance. That green will pop out. Good. And so there is some negative space. I'm pointing and use your mouse, dummy. There's a lot of negative space on Arepa. Now, that's not necessarily bad. It kind of frames it. But I'm not sure if I like that. So what I usually do, because these are going on the blog and I just choose which ones are which. So I'm going to export that one. But I'm also going to crop this one. This is something I have to get over. I don't tend to like cropping because to me that's like altering your image too much. You should have got it right in camera. That's what in video you can't crop. Well, now you can because they got 8K and all that stuff. But cropping in video was just not a thing, and that's where my training's from. I trained in video first, picked up a still camera, and was like, this is a lot more fun. I don't have to deal with audio or anyone being late to sound check. Well, that's beside the point. If I just crop this, this is an advantage to photo that I need to get over. I still want his hand in there. And as I'm in the crop screen, it's set up in the rule of thirds. Which, if you don't know what it is, it's just pictures are pleasing if you think about the rule of thirds. So you have the thirds in landscape way, thirds in portrait way, and it doesn't mean you have to be in this third. It could mean, and what I usually do, is I'm looking for the intersection. I'm hitting these 2/3 and leaving a third open, or stuff like that. So right now, his heart's kind of in a third, and Arepa's in 2/3. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that better. There's less space that is doing nothing, and more of the point. Now, Arepa's kind of fuzzy at the end, but we get the picture. Get it? The picture? Alright, here's your unique names. And this shoot was actually quite short, because I don't know. It just was. And Miguel was giving me a lot. Some shoots are harder than others. And I think this one was, hey, Miguel, pretend you have a new record coming out and you can't look at the camera. Yeah, that works. I like that. And if I'm lazy, I'll just go back to this picture over here. I was like, I like these settings. Let's use those again. Let's use those again. Thank you, Lightroom. It's actually too golden. I'm going to take the temp off. I like the natural colors we got here. And this is all one big window. Lighting is a thing. I was lucky enough that Miguel had 2 humongous windows in his storefront. And that made lighting so much easier. A lot of times my style, quote unquote, I don't think I have a style. You get one big key light, which is the window, and then you get a backlight. But I just love this one light look that I was just like, yep, this is something I'm not used to doing. Let me change it up and make this kind of unique for Leonore. Oh, so the name, Leonore the name, is named after his mother. She also passed away from cancer, and he was in Venezuela taking care of her and learning to cook and all that stuff. And so when he moved to Roanoke, restaurant's named after his mom. Like, I connected with the story so hard, it hurt. Like, I almost was crying during the interview. Luckily, Steph was there, keeping me on the straight and narrow. Not that crying is wrong. It's not wrong. It's just I'm an ugly crier. Ugh. It's nasty to watch. But, this is a good picture. I think I've exported it. This happens all the time. I'll, like, look on the text chain and be like, oh, what's happening? Hey, did I export this? 1, 2. Nope, I didn't. So there's that. And then we're going to go to this one just to see if there's anything different. Maybe I hit the focus weird in another spot. And Lightroom's going to be Lightroom. See, I don't like that one. I liked that first one. We nailed it there. Now we go to this one. See, we tested this earlier with Steph. And I tried to remember the settings. And clearly I did not. Oh! Alright. Alright, hold on. I hate bragging about myself because I feel that ignorance doesn't get you anything, or confidence gets you things, but arrogance doesn't. I nailed that fucking picture. And now that I'm looking at it, it's a little crooked, but his focus, his eyes, I love when I nail something. Yes! I love this. Look at this guy. Okay, now the focus is on. See, this is what happens when arrogance takes over. You're just like, I nailed this. Oh, I didn't nail it. But luckily, it looks focused in here. So, and then I'm on my 50. Let me get chat back so I can see them make fun of me. All right. Chat's a little behind. That's fine. So right away, these look a little off to me, and they might not be, actually. So what I'm doing right now is trying to offset the... What am I trying to do? Taylor, what am I trying to do? Make sure the lines are level, because if you have off-level things, the picture doesn't work. So all these little lines are telling me basically what the straight grid is. Sometimes I do it by eye. Sometimes I use this ruler. Oops. Sometimes Taylor doesn't know what he's doing. I take this ruler over here on angle, and I drag it over here, and what you can do is be like, I know this is straight. And then it straightens it for you. And I think that made it more crooked. So most of the time, I just go auto and say, hey, what do you think? And then it straightens it out better than I ever could. But, okay, so, couple things with this photo. I love the composition. This is exactly what I was looking for when we did that picture of Steph. Now, some things. We still have that bright spot. And we still got those dark things. I kind of want the subject to be him and less about the things. So the houses, the Venezuelan haciendas. I don't know Spanish. Some of you out there currently watching know I had tried to learn Spanish and I almost quit immediately because I get frustrated with not knowing why something is feminine, why something is masculine in a sentence, and I just I quit. I might try it again, but this is why. I'm just I don't know language as well. So I'm going to get my white and black points done. And it's going to overexpose him right now. But I know that if I take all the whites all the way down, he's going to be exposed correctly. And, actually that might just fix the picture altogether. But I kind of like having it a little brighter. Alright. We'll brighten it up a little bit. I just love all these shadows have direction that kind of give you this texture as it is. The only thing I wish was that he was higher in the frame. Just maybe 3-4 inches. So we can see more of those houses. And that's something we can do something about. Let's add some crunch. Let's add some Vibrance. And what else do I want to do? Because I'm wondering if I still want some of these to be brighter. Not that bright. Fucking Lightroom. And I can do an exposure, which just sends everything brighter. Or I can use shadows, which is what I mostly do. Just make the dark parts lighter. And that did... Oops. Oh, Lightroom's lagging. It'll take the dark spots and make them brighter and nothing else. So that makes it a little more even. But you know what? I actually hate that because it actually takes attention away from Miguel in this picture. So I am going to delete it. I'd much rather have this. And let's add some vignetting. Yep. That picture looks much better that way. I'm just going to ship it. More like bright room. All right. Good one, Ron. Yeah, German sounds awful too, Ron. I totally agree. I don't agree. Please help. And now we just go through and see if there's any more, maybe facial expressions that we like. And I remember, yep, I do remember trying to, ooh, that one's out of focus. like that. See, this one's in focus, but the door jam's in there, and I hate it. And, okay, so this is where my style has a problem. I like things in certain places and not in others. So to fix this picture, so I don't like this wall part over here on the left. To fix that, I'm going to have to do that. But it also shrinks other proportions. I just don't want that part. Is there a way? Hey, stop. Is there a way for me to do that? Absolutely. All I have to do is unclick this lock icon over in my crop and straightening and just remove it. Boom. But now the photo is a weird aspect ratio. And maybe I should just not care about it. Maybe I should just not care about it. Water time. There we go. I might throw in a lozenge soon. My throat's been acting funky lately. Oh, I even hit a high note. Maybe I'm just a good singer now. No, not at all. What was I saying? Here we go. Miguel, this picture cropping. It's very possible something I need to get over, that it's not a perfect aspect ratio. Especially because this is going on my blog. Would I love some food magazine to be like, we love this photo so much we want to put it in our magazine, but only if it's in the correct aspect ratio? No, that's not going to happen. But it might in the future, and proportions are a thing. Moving on. Let's find the black level, white level. And I can still go to that huge white level. Let's see, it looks like I hit my white spot there. And that's still too bright to me, so usually I bring highlights down. Ooh, yeah, that did what I wanted to do. Now, let me go off something. There's a heavy shadow on his left side. This is kind of a stylistic choice. That's totally fine. Can we change it? Yes, we can. There's a brush over here. It's got exposure up. I can use this brush right here. And I gotta find a good spot where you can see it. Let's go to this house. There's a thin line on the outside and a little bit of a thicker line with 7 C's in the middle. What that is doing is in the middle is a hard brush. On the outside is it's feathering from that inside circle to the outside circle. So it's not as hard. Just like in real life, if you press down with a brush, it's going to be harder in the middle, more concrete in the middle, softer on the edge. That just affects what you're doing with your brush. So if I take the shadows in my brush and increase it like 20, I can just go on his face and brush that. Wasn't a huge difference, but it was, it made a little bit, and I only went a little bit on here. I could crank that stuff up, and now his face is one solid color. Do I like that look? No, I do not. So I'm going to just not do that and delete that. Because this is, again, this one light solution. I'm usually a 2 light guy. I want the one light thing kind of puts a mood. And let me see here for a second. What am I thinking? Oh yeah, crunch. Crispity crunch. Do I want to dehaze? No. Oh, but doesn't that look like every 90s album cover ever? I'm so grunge. I love arepas. No, we're not going to dehaze. And these houses aren't lined up. This is they'll probably just be not aligned. Do I like that? I'll lose a little bit of Miguel body. Put him on a third. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Ron, I see you say Wacom tablet. I have one. And it drives me nuts. I have gotten so good with my mouse that when I used the Wacom tablet, it wasn't good. Like I was so not steady, and I was like hovering, and when you draw, you want to have an anchor, and I couldn't, because I was like, oh, then it'll go that way and mess things up. I don't know how to use it. I probably should, and that'll help me in the long run, but at the moment, I'm okay with my mouse. This is touchscreen. I can touch, caress. Let me just caress Miguel's face here. If he's watching, I'm so sorry. All right, moving on. Exporting this. Well, maybe. Did I mess with the color? I did not. I did not touch her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Is there a Mark in the chat? Because hi, Mark. There's a Mike. Oh, hi, Mike. Oh, gosh. There we go. Exporting this baby. And if I make this any more gold, these walls will look weird. And now, I did tell him to look away at one point. See if this will look good. We'll see. Not in that one. Because we're doing a one light setup, all his features are in darkness. And I'm not. This one is interesting because the houses have much more of a focal point. And I just don't. I can't leave this picture go. Will it make the blog? Probably not. But and a part of this, more about Beyond the Plating, I send all these photos to the restaurant for them to use. If I wanted to make money, I probably could be like, well, you can buy the rights to these photos. No, I want to tell their story. That's why I'm doing this. Sometimes they send home food with me. Send home food with me. Send food home with me. There we go. And I lost track of everything. Reset button. Hey, what did I miss? Got it. Anyway. So this photo. Oh yeah, what'd I do with the photos? Yeah, that's right. I send them to the restaurant for them to use because they do me a huge favor by giving me content for a blog. I've gotten a couple of clients off this blog, and that's all I could ask for. One of them was Wacology. Did some pictures for one of my first blog people. But that's why I only asked them to do 2 dishes. One, because you're a restaurant. I don't want you already got thin margins. I don't want you to break the bank to help me out. Don't want that to happen. But I still want to be able to be open to, if you need photography, call me. I would love to work for you and get you pictures for that. So I only do 2 for both our reasons. Like, hey, don't want you to make this food just for me and lose money out on that. But also, this is an advertisement for them, which is good. Also an advertisement for me. If you like the photos, then you benefit from them. And then who are you going to call when you need photos again? The guy who loves you? Absolutely. Oh, my wife's calling me. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. She just said I'm not talking loud enough. No, she didn't. Anyway. Oh, why was it doing that? Oh, defined. Yep. I want to auto just to make sure the houses are straight. This might be a time, and in fact, I'm going to do that right now. This might be the time to up the shadows in his face so we see a little more. And I want it natural looking, because if I just do full blast, that doesn't look realistic. It looks like the first Iron Man suit. Just like, okay, your head in a suit. This is really obvious. But just enough. And maybe add some crunch to really make it look realistic. Do I like that? Yeah, I think that works. Oh, hey, Savannah. Potato skins. I'm make some potatoes come true. I hope you're safe. If no one knows, Savannah fell down a mountain yesterday. So, healing thoughts. She's alive, nothing broken. So that's good. Back to Miguel and his love for arepas. Usually find the black point. Da, 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 da. I am talking in circles now. Call me the circus because I'm talking in circles. That was bad. That was a real bad pun. I give myself an F-. Alright, so we got that. And like in these pictures, at first I was like, I'm gonna hate this seam. I'm gonna hate the texture of this seam. It's gonna look unnecessary and I hate it. Nope. I think it adds a lot of great texture to this scene that we have. And as I look at this scene more and more, I like it more and more. And now that the houses are more of a central point to this one frame story, we're going to take out some of the shadows in this one. And maybe even expose it a little more. Get that, and then... yeah, I like that more. So we got more of that house in the story. This picture's a little less about Miguel. And that's fine. And I'll bring down the shadow, the highlights a little more. That's good. Water break. Alright. And now, back to Miguel on the chair, or this bench. I think this is where people wait to get seated. Just miss the focus on that one. Just miss entirely. Oh, but I didn't miss on that one. Okay, yes, I did. A little bit. Look at those eyes. Jeez. Why do you gotta be so handsome? And this one? Okay, this is where... I don't like these in the frame, but I love how much headroom I have. These need to go. There's a possibility I can get rid of them. If what I used for his nose and specular highlight, let's see if Lightroom is going to be... what? No. No, it's not. Damn it. Sometimes, so what it does, the heal option takes what colors by it and mixes it with what's around it to make it look better or more seamless. Now, I could try to clone this, but it's not going to go well. See, and like... yeah. So it's one of those where I'm going to have to live with it, or I'm going to have to crop it. And I don't want to crop it. So, live with it. I could probably do this. This is where my weakness of only being in Lightroom comes in. I'm pretty sure someone can do this in Photoshop. I am not one of those people. In fact, I'm not over it, so I'm going to try one more time with the heal brush. Yep. Can I get away with that? Like, what's that mysterious shadow? No, that looks ugly. U-G-L-Y. We're leaving it at that. Let's see what happens when we crop it. It's not awful, but I just want a little more headroom. I wonder if I can... welcome to my inner thoughts, everyone. I wonder if I can just... maybe I can clone that. And just clone that the rest of the way. And then... why is the color off so much? That's clearly not the same color. Something is fishy here. That's actually really weird. Why? No. Must problem solve. Yep, that's not working. Holy, why? Well, maybe I can heal instead. maybe if I chose this to heal. That... Did I really change anything? I hate it. And why is my clone brighter? It shouldn't be brighter. If I just do that, it should be the same freaking color, and it's not. I did not touch her. I did not. Well, that's going to be there. That's what I'm going to have to deal with it until I learn Photoshop better. That's what's going to happen. But let's get back to Miguel. Miguel, you make me so happy. I'm just going to get lost in your eyes. All right. Black spot. White spot. Bang down the highlights. Crunch it up a little bit. Add a little vibrance to it. Vibrance does a lot in this picture. I still need to come down with the highlights a little more. And maybe up the shadows. A lot of times if you mix with your highlights and shadows, with one way you have to go with your shadows, you got to go the opposite way with your highlights to make it look like it's not washed out. Yes, Ron, I have heard of that camera, and it is a camera that you can, it basically records all the focus points, and you pick what your focus point is. That just seems so much like cheating. I mean, it's a camera that exists, but I'm just wondering why it hasn't been more popularized. And it might be because people like me go, no, that's cheating. Takes the art out of everything. But I know the first versions of that camera is very much like the iPhone photo mode, or the portrait mode, which is, it kind of fakes that shallow depth of field by just blurring things, and it doesn't look great all the time. But I know exactly what you're saying. Water time. Alright, so is there anything else I can do with this photo? No, I like it. Oh, vignette. Vignetting. Oh, vignetting might do something. I kind of like that. And it makes this dark spot make more sense now that there's dark spots in the corner. Oh, let's do black and white. Oh shit, we might need to do black and white. I like black and white. I just don't know when the proper time to use it is. That kind of looks good. Oh, I really like that flat profile too. Get away, me. Alright, let's export this guy. Alright, and then out the window. Ah, that didn't hit the... Oh, wait. I really like this one. I wonder if I got a better focus point. Because I don't really like that I chopped his arm off. It's only a flesh wound. Yeah, I like this one. Focus is mostly hit. That's the story of my life. Mostly hit the focus. And it's got a natural vignette because of the window. So we're going to do what we usually do. Black point. White point. Hit pretty early. Bring the highlights down. And it takes that spot out, which I really enjoy. Clarity. Get that crunch. Get some of that. Some of these. And some of those. And done. Little SpongeBob for you guys. Ooh. No. Auto, what are you doing? It's not... No. I'm okay with things being crooked. Because otherwise we lose way too much of Miguel in this photo. Export. Is this a better focus? Nope, about the same. And we got two of these of him just sitting on the bench with the Lightroom. And I did not nail these focuses. Foci. The focus on either of these, which bothers me. Oh, it looks like I switched to this point of shoot. I switched to my wide lens. See how that would do. Ooh, I do not like this photo. Because there's too much extra happening. And the exposure's not great. That one's not great either. Too much floor, too much. This one's okay. Let's maybe I can do something with this one. So, this is a wide lens. So, you can tell it's a wide lens because the way it is. I'm just kidding. You can see, like, the straight beam right here is kind of warped. It's not warped in real life. Same with this wall. It's still a little warped. So, when you're wide, things get warped. This one's warped. Lightroom, you can enable profile corrections, and it'll take a lot of that warp out of it, which is really freaking cool. Now, what I was trying to do with this is I thought the previous photos with him in this wall weren't wide enough. So I went to my wide lens, and now that I know that I actually like the other ones much better. Let's see if I can make this work how I want it to. Nope, that doesn't look great. The problem with that I have with this photo, and many others might like it, is there's too much variation in colors. Color is a big thing of why I like food photography. Food photography is just a home for color and how it affects what you eat with your eyes first. With this one, I have a brown beam, yellow wall, blue accent wall, overly bright yellow wall, and it really is distracting to me. So I'm just probably not going to deal with these. This one's not any different than what we've done with. He looks like a villain in that one. And I think I switched back to my 50. I think I did, yeah. I like this because it gives another angle, but he is super bright coming out of that window. Do I stop down at some point? See, and I don't focus on this one. Let me get out of crop top here. Everything is real fuzzy. I really like this angle, so I'm definitely gonna edit a photo of this angle, but I just don't know which one. That one might be our contender. But this shows so much more. Alright, we're gonna try to salvage this one. I just like it too much. One of the things we can do is use that graduated filter, because we got such a brighter window here. So we can bring exposure down a little. And this is another point in photography that I try to search for is the backlight, or also called a hair light. This outline is given to us by the light outside. A lot of photos, if you're thinking, what's missing from this photo? More than half the time it's a backlight. Something to define your subject. Like me, right here, this light right here is my backlight, is my hair light. It's actually just a window. It defines me from the background. So for this one, it's our window and our one light setup. I'm going to up the shadows just a little bit. Get that crunchity in there. That black point. I kind of like leaving it as is. I don't need a vignette. Well, let's see what a vignette looks like. Yeah, actually, Vignette added a lot of depth to this one. So it's not, and I'm gonna try to sharpen it just a smidge. Just mess with that. See what that did. Sharpening, radius, detail. It's gonna add a little bit. It's not focus perfect, but I really like the arrangement. Water time. And Lightroom's going to freak out on me. All right. Every time I say water time, Lightroom freaks out on me. I'm going to double check the Facebook chat. Oh, hey, Kat. Hi, Kat. Kat from Farmer Geeks is over in the Facebook chat. Got a lot of people over in YouTube if you want to head over there, Kat. But thank you so much for stopping by. When did you miss it? 18 minutes ago. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, Kat. I'm so sorry. Kat's amazing. She's such a good person. If you follow Kat Pascal on all the social medias, you'll see that she is amazing. All right. Continue. Maybe this one will be good. I'm not going to give up on this picture. It looks interesting. So, as we can see in our histogram, the whites are way up. All the way up. So, because this is exposed well, we're going to go graduated. And I'm going to use the hammer exposure. Let's see what that does. See, and like, because I want to get Leonore in there, but that just doesn't look natural at all. So I can't really do that. But maybe I can bring the whites down. And whites starting to make that weird. So when I bring exposure all the way down, you can see there's still some stuff that's stark white. And that's because I've lost that information. That information's gone. I can't get any detail out of that. That's why you get large image files. But that right there might be usable. And let's do our usual. Oh, it's already kind of. Already got a black point. There we go. Let's do that. Bring the shadows up. Bring some highlights down. Or up. Add some color. I mean, the picture's not awful. It's not as pristine as I want it to be. But I really like him looking out this window, which has this restaurant's name on it. So now we're down to the not so natural portrait. Before this shoot, or actually before the Farm Brigade shoot, I got a brand new lighting setup. And I was using it at every opportunity I could. So you had this nice little wine rack thing. Look at that. That's such a great look. And actually, I think I'll edit one of these and then I'll skip to the food ones. Because we're hour 15 in. Yeah, look at that happy guy. So, here's an example of a 2-light setup that I like to use. On his front here, we have our key light. On this side, and I don't think I put it behind him, but I have another light that's filling in a lot of stuff. So as where sometimes it doesn't fire, my backlight doesn't fire. When they both fire, it looks like that. But I want to go back to that other photo. If I could salvage this. Do I stop down here? Yeah, let me see if I can salvage this. I'm going to auto straighten things. Good. I lose some of his pantalones. Alright, so the black point's already at black. So with a bright picture, you're like, alright, we need to bring the whites down. No, I'm not at a white point yet. And now I am. Now we bring highlights down. Alright, let's see if I can get it exposed on his face. And I got the focus right. Yeah. Yes. Bring these highlights down. Now, it's still a little dark. So this is when I'm going to take my shadows. And see, like, I get almost a backlight out of that. Too much space up here. So I'm definitely cropping this one a little bit. And really keeping him in a third. See, and then it just looks like poorly. I'll put him in the middle. Yeah, I like that. Let's add some color. And this one, because it looks a little blue to me. Not just because of the shirt, but on his face especially. This light isn't really gold. And that's still a little too bright. So let's bring that down. This is usually when I add a little bit of gold tint. Because that's what we're used to. Is that little gold tint. It's yellow on this program, but yeah. I want to add that gold tint. And really, I don't need a vignette because there's already a natural vignette. So I like this. Ship it. I wonder if any of these will be cool. That's not bad. It's a very black and white type movie. I kind of like that. You know what? Screw it. I like it. We're going to do it. I probably won't use this in the blog, to be honest. But I just kind of like how that looks. Do whatever you want. I'm going to check the chats. Excellent. And then you can go through all these filters too. And see, I love the warm shadow filters, what I use a lot if I'm ever trying to be extra creative. I'm going to do it here too. He's such a handsome dude. Yes, use unique names. Alright, so we've seen a lot of Miguel. And there's some action shots we could do. Like him in the kitchen. Now, some kitchens are huge, some are small. Miguel's kitchen was small and dim, and I had a hard time getting a light in here, so these action shots, I can take or leave. I'm going to definitely use some, because he worked really hard to make food. And Lightroom is being so slow again. He's got the dough made. Alright, let's see if we can salvage this action shot before we get to the food photos. And actually, this shoot, I think I did less food photos than portrait photos. And in fact, actually, I know I did. Because I had such a great time getting pictures of Miguel. Because I just loved him and his story and all of everything about him. Water time. All right. So I'm going to start with a white point on this one because it's obviously very dark in here. And black point's already at black point. In fact, I might lift this up a little bit. See, I'm already getting... there we go. There's our black point. With some shadows in there. Let's get some crunch. Captain Crunch. Put some color in there. So this one's hard. The subject is obviously Miguel right here, making the food. But then we have all this empty space. Is it a perfect photo? Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. And then, what am I going to do? See, I'm not sure, like, this is where I add gold, if that gold makes sense. No, a little bit. I might use a hammer. And the hammer is the exposure track right here. If I just up that, it ups everything. But then we get too bright. I think I'm at a serviceable point right here. Where nothing's too bright and he's making the arepa. Let's see if vignetting helps. No, vignetting doesn't help. This is still a good action shot. Is it a award-winning action shot? No. No, it's not. Savannah, I'm not going to add fire. I don't add anything that's not there. That's rule numero uno for me. I don't like adding things that aren't there. Yes, you can hire me to take pictures of you making pudding, if you so desire. And then here's another one. Really super dark. If I make it brighter, picture's not as good. But what we might do here, I hit X to change your aspect ratio from portrait to not. I might be able to... Nope, I don't like it. I like it, but not a lot. I don't like it. Let's go. See, and when it's really dark, it's really hard for me to hit focus because my camera, if it's on auto, if it's not, I have a hard time seeing where I should be focused. So thanks. So here's a pan of chicken. I don't know what I was thinking about this, but there's certainly a pan of chicken. You know, I hit my focus when things aren't interesting. I don't think this is an interesting shot. Like, if that was higher a flame, maybe, maybe not. I don't think it's interesting. But Miguel cooking is very interesting. And I got 3 shots here. Which one's more interesting? I don't like that one. That one's not too bad. So we have a difference of potential and kinetic energy here, basically. This is him in action. Him about to be in action. Even though it's actually after. So my focus is on there pretty well. And now at this point, it's my what part Miguel do I like best? And I think it's this one. Yeah, I like this one best. So now we're gonna do the old treatment. Ye old treatment. And then we're gonna take the blanks and pump those up. Add some crunch. Some Vibrance. Maybe a little saturation. Yeah, a little saturation does well. And this one might be too gold, so I'll switch between blue and gold on the color temp. I think that's fine. I think there's a little too much green. Nope. Not as such. The highlights up? No. I do think there's something missing with this picture, but I was also in a very tight space, and I have my wide lens on. Ooh, wait. That might be... Aha! That is better. A little better, but his head's cut off. But it's an action shot. Action! Savannah, you're killing me. You're killing me. Alright, moving on. Let's... Lightroom! Oh yeah, I was going to move on to the food photos. Alright, there's a pan full of chicken. There's a lot of photos of him making the food. Ooh! Hey, Savannah! Here's your caliente. Take that. There's your fire. I like them apples. He probably doesn't like this chin. See if I can find a better photo. But see, I like this one. This is more concentrated. This one, he's making chicken marsala, and I love chicken marsala. Nope, this one's better. That's just big flame. Big flame. Love that. We love that. So now we're going to do our white point on this one. I'm going to add some crunchity. Up the black point just a little. Oh, lots of black point there. And this one's better exposed because there's literal light fire right there. That's a light. The fire is a light source, so he is lit better because of that light source. And I love fire. There's a couple shots from Inca Grill that I have that I love it. It's just a big fire. Let's see. Do I need to do anything else? Do I add highlights? Nope. Do I add shadows? Probably. And we can enable profile correction so it's less warped. Bring that down. Alright, let's ship that one. He's lit. Yes, he is. Oop, yep. One more before we move on. See if I got the focus on this one. Yeah. I want that right now. But since I haven't been feeling well, it's all been soup. Soup's great. And I like the thick soup, so that doesn't even help me. Another shout out to my wife. She's been taking care of me. Love her very much. Alright, so black point is pretty good. I've been less talkative as we go, so I'm sorry with that, but I hope you're enjoying yourselves. And I think my focus is up here, not down here. Oh no, okay, I got a good plane of focus. That's good. Let's see if I need to... And sometimes the profile correction I'm doing for my lens actually doesn't make a photo better. Speaking of wife, she's coming to refill my water. She's amazing. As I've said before. We're going to export this one. Thanks, honey. Water time. None of you saw that. Moving on. Ooh, there's some good... I'm getting distracted myself. We haven't got to the real food photos yet. And I'm all like, ooh, I like this one. Ooh, I like this one. Which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a great feeling to have. Where you're just like, you come out of a shoot and you're like, I don't actually know how many good shots I got out of there. And then coming back and be like, oh no, I got a good amount. Okay, cool. This one looks good. I would like more spillage though. And I'm out of focus. Well, his hands are in focus. That actually may not be... Alright. Oh, that's a good one. Alright. So here's one where manipulating the photo in editing is going to help. The story here is his hand taking the food out. So we're gonna crunch this a little more. And there's a lot of space. This one actually, aha! If I press X, it switches. Ooh, I don't know if that's enough room though. Let's see. And I'm not fully in focus. Where am I? Where is the focus? Focus. It's probably somewhere right in that knuckle right there. No, I don't like this. But I think we can do something with this photo. So let's add some color. This is where vignetting might be a great help to us. If I just vignette that a little more. It looks a little unnatural. So we're actually going to... I can lose a little bit of his arm in the frying pan. That's fine. And put his hand on a third. That crosshair right there. That might work better. It's not bad, but there's just nothing right here. And that bothers me. Maybe I should just put his fist on a third. Him and hawing on this one. We could ignore the frying pan. Yeah, that looks better. That looks more salvageable. So we'll put it a little that way. Yeah, I like that. So then now we can really manipulate our lighting. Really pop that. Oh, and I haven't even done this part yet. So add some more vignetting. There we go. Okay, so I think we definitely took this picture into a better direction than it was. Good job, y'all. High five. Let me double check my camera, make sure I didn't... Yep, screwed it up a little bit. Just little minor adjustments. When I'm on Zoom calls with all y'all, I'm just like always checking my lighting and everything. Alright, so let's get these things up. Where did I put everything? All right, we're back at it. Oh, and now that we talk, this would work so good as a black and white. Oh gosh. Oh boy. I really like that. And let's rein it in a little bit. I love that you can see the steam in the black and white. Accidental awesomeness. Oh boy. I love this. This could be like a, what's it called? A stock image. I like this a lot. Good job, everyone. And then we got this action shot, which doesn't look as great. That's okay. Himmin and Hotham. Himmin and Hotham. Those are words. Alright. Let's do that. Let's open those up. Why do I like this? So this is hard. It's an action shot, but it doesn't look pretty. That's what it is. It just doesn't look pretty. Let's see. That's okay, but there's too much steam. That's out of focus. That's also out of focus. Merde! Why do I like this one more? I don't know why, but I'm using it. Alright, we're going to go through this one and then to the food, I promise. I keep promising and then not delivering. But I really like this idea right here. The kinetic energy, or the potential energy, as I was talking about. It's just something is going to happen. We're predicting, we're showing action in anticipation. God, I sound like a dweeb. But that's fine. I am a dweeb. This one I'm probably going to add some gold to. No, actually that doesn't look great. Alright. So it's well exposed. This will definitely need some vignetting to really tell people where to look. The shadows. See, and right here the shadows bother me a little bit. So I'm going to take your handy dandy little brush here. Happy little trees. And really bump the shadows up here so we can see it more often and better. Yeah, and then I actually think I'm going to add more vibrance and maybe a little saturation. Saturation's too much. No, it's not. What's that? Yep, ship it. All right. I said food. All right. Food we go. Lightroom! So here we are. Creamy chicken marsala. The focus is not good on this one. And it looks like I was using... There we go. There's good focus. Okay. So, focus on food dishes is still something I struggle with because I don't know where I want my focus to be. And this one, I kind of like because it's the front. I also, on these Beyond the Plating shoots, I don't do a ton of styling because I want it to be what was given to me, what is in front of me, what are you going to see? What is going to be the offering? Water time. Creamy chicken marsala with linguine. It looks amazing. Now this looks properly exposed, so I'm not going to be doing too much on editing, but I want to make sure it pops. And a lot of times I up the shadows to get this, but it looks like that's going to be too heavy-handed. I wonder if I highlight, affect the highlights. Yeah, that's pretty good. Add some crunch. Nice crunch there. And there's too much stuff up here that's distracting. So with the plate in mind, I'm going to bring it down. So there's still a mark over there, which isn't noticeable. I might not do anything with that, so, but I might not clone, heal. And just make it a little less noticeable. I know it's not a ton, but I want to make sure my focus is on this food. And this is where color really can pop. And so I put up the saturation on this one because that, I don't know if you saw that, but it really, let me put it back to 0. The saturation really pops all that oregano on the screen. And the table is red, so it's that deep red comes out. But if you didn't have oregano or basil on top of this dish, it would look a little one-dimensional. But just that amount of color pop and taste pop makes a huge, huge difference. Now this is something like a 45-degree angle. We're going to ship this one. Top down also is another effective way to display your food. Whole different design aesthetic. Come on, Lightroom. Okay, so yeah. Now you have a different design. Is the food focused? Mostly. Good. This is definitely one that will take some cropping and try to get off of that edge there. And this is one I'm going to try to just go away. Why? There we go. See? There we go. Oops. And I'll definitely vignette this one as well. Again, focus. It's a little one-dimensional color-wise right now. So I'm definitely going to be pumping some color into this one. And this one I might... A lot of food photos are blue. Hey, Alex is on Facebook. Hi, Alex. I could. I don't tend to. But that's a good idea. I wonder... So my brother in Facebook, who also has been getting into photography, was talking about square crop. I can absolutely do that for like Instagram. And that's a very good point. I think square would just be 1-to-1. There we go. And see, I listen to you guys. And that's a very good point, Alex. Now this picture is more concentrated. And now I just have to straighten. I'm trying to make sure the edges are equal. And doing it by hand is a biznatch. And now this is perfect for Instagram. Well, I've kind of missed some of my... But, regardless, add some crunch. Get my black and white points. There's my black point. White point. Do I want highlights? Do I not? I would definitely want highlights on this one. Crank the color on this one. And let's get a vignette in there. Awesome. This is a really good top down. And the square actually did a lot. So thank you for that, Alex. I'm going to export it with the square crop. And I'm going to do it without the square crop. Just make it. Ooh, and you can also do... I like having the plate in the picture, but you could do something like this too. It makes it more cinematic in a way. I actually really like this. Now that we're messing with it. We'll make this a very cinematic chicken marsala. Now we're going to do that. Yep. I'm going to export that too. Use unique names. Screw it, I'm going to leave it at that. Nice. All right. Now I got 15 minutes left in the stream, so that's those chicken marsala shots. Now we go the arepas. I put my 50 on for these because I want to get the shit to the field. This was absolutely is a thing. He called this hairy beef because it looks like hairy beef, but it tastes divine. And now I'm just trying to find a picture where I like the focus. So this is more in focus. Notice how it's darker? That's because my iris on the photo is more closed. I'm at 2.8 on this one. f2.8. Now on these ones, I'm at f2.2. And it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Both in lighting and what's in focus. So I'm going to mess with this one. And just with 15 minutes left in the stream, I want to let people know that if you didn't see the whole stream or had people who wanted to come and couldn't make it, I will be uploading this to YouTube. I think it saves it. I'm not going to promise that because I forgot to hit record. Because of course I did. But I think YouTube saves it. I'll update you guys as we go. But back to this. Now this one I might crop a little more. Just depending. Because I don't mind getting the plate out of it. Yeah, because I want that focus to really be on that arepa. Now with food, a lot of people don't like texture on their face. Food, texture is the opposite. So if I was doing some face, I would bring the texture down. Not this far, because that's weird. But with food, I like adding a little texture, a little crunch, to really show you, because the food has texture. If the food is smooth, it's smooth. If the food is hairy beef that looks delicious, it's hairy beef that looks delicious. And we want to make sure we're not too heavy-handing the edits on these, because we don't want one to be to look better than it is, which is hard with this. It looks amazing, is amazing, but also because you want the integrity of the food to be the same and not it to look worse. Like I could make this look worse, just make it look like hot garbage by doing stuff with color mainly. But all right, let's look at our back point. Look at our white point. That's good. Let's get a vignette in there. Yep, and it's focused on that. I think I might take this crop up a little bit to really focus on there. That looks awesome. Perfect. Another water. I've had people look at my portfolio, and I've been really honored that they did so. And they said one thing about my portfolio is that it always makes them hungry. And that's such a big compliment for me. I did, because that's what I want to do. I want to show off people's food and want them to eat it. And it's really cool to hear that mission is a success. Alright, we're going to keep going on some food. This one's great. The cheese is kind of haphazard, but that's kind of what you want. You want the authenticity. He could whip up a bechamel if he wanted to and up the game of the arepa, but that's what arepas are for. And now I put this too bright. I gotta bring these whites down. And actually my focus isn't in a great spot. It's like right here, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna export that guy. Now, during the shoot, I had Steph with me. Which means I could do stuff that I haven't been able to do on a shoot, which is add a human element to it. So if we go a little farther. Oh, and this one, trying to get a combo shot. Wait, yep, we're going to edit this one. Adding depth to a scene. When you have a single subject, it's hard to add depth to a scene. I use the two dishes to kind of give you its own food story. Okay, I have this dish, but I also have this other dish, which is perfect timing with the story of Miguel. Miguel learned about Italian food cooking food. He learned how to cook Italian food, and that's what his skills get him. Like for me, video is a skill I have, but doesn't bring me a lot of happiness. It can, but like it's just a skill I have. Now in the background, we have an arepa, which is Venezuelan. His culture, his better cheese. He's Venezuelan. It's something that he enjoys and his passion. So this photo and other photos subsequently tell a story because it's two different worlds. There's not many restaurants out there that are just going to have classic Italian food right next to Venezuelan food. Maybe in Venezuela, but in itself is another part of the story. Let's edit this one. So black point's pretty good. Get to the white point. Create our own contrast. And I like the specular highlights we're getting in these noodles and these onions. That's what we kind of look for in lighting wise. And I want to see if highlights would really accentuate them or do nothing. They do good stuff. Add a little crunch. Add a little vibrance. And this one will add a little saturation to pump the nice oranges in the chicken. Let's add just a little vignette, see if that does much. I actually don't like the vignette in this one. Let's see if I can brighten it. Yep, I kind of like this photo bright because the focus is definitely on the chicken marsala just because of our focus and where we put the focus point. I am going to up these shadows because the mushrooms. No, see, that's too heavy-handed. So I'm going to take this brush and add or up those shadows a little bit. There we go. I like this. Yeah, this is a good one. It's one of the good ones. Let's export that guy. Oh, Tam. Tam, thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate it. That means a lot. High five, Tam. All right. And then good point, Tam. The table color is also a nice contrast background that are really separating our subject. Now that I had Steph with me, and this might not look great because this is the first try doing it, is this human element of someone twirling the noodles. And that's going to be hard to capture, at least for me. Oh yeah, I think these are better. So I like these. I need to find the right one. So the difficulty here is getting the focus point where I need it. I like this one. Focus point's right where the fork is. It's a little off kilter, so I am going to try to balance this out a little bit. I don't want to lose too much. And a little bit of crookedness kind of adds something to it, but I really like this one. I got focus right here, and on the fork. Similar plane. That is exactly what I'm looking for. So we're going to up the shadows just a little bit. Get our black point. Black point's already there. Get our white point. Get the specular highlights in the noodles. Did you have the noodle dream? Any Kung Fu Panda fans out there? So, add some vibrance, add some saturation. Get that color pop in there. And so the downside of this photo is we got these two black bars that are just behind it. I really want to separate this out a little more. So we're going to try to vignette it so it looks more natural. No, see, the vignette's too heavy-handed. Like, am I happy with this photo? Absolutely. Love it. And what I always like to search for is these nice steam parts. That all sounded wrong and terrible. I never said it. But yeah, I'm definitely shipping this one. And then I'll show you another hand one. This one ended up being the cover photo for the event. Lightroom! This one ended up being a cover photo. And another thing, that an element in it. That's something I want to keep adding to my future photos. I have more coming in the future. After Leonore, I believe, is the Black Hen out in Blacksburg. Don't quote me on that one. That's another great one. But with this one, we did the same things. Find our white and black point. Mess with the shadows. That sauce is in focus as well. And the hand. Oh, there's my wife's ring. It's a good ring. You can't see it, but it's there. Oh, this one. Yeah, let's edit this one real quick. We're gonna go over time, people. Sorry. This idea of actually I don't like this. It's not her fault either. It's just I can fix this because I want it to be on there. I wonder. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. That's fine. I can do more later. But, let me... But I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to go over, if anyone's got any questions in the chat, I will be more than happy to answer them. Alright. Go at Alex. Did you ever hold Alt while adjusting exposure weight? Yes, Alex. Absolutely. And I did that at the beginning of the stream. You missed it. I'm just kidding. Definitely do that, and then after I do that, I just look at my histogram and know that's kind of where I want to be. If I need to know where my whites are, I'll absolutely use Alt, but otherwise, I just go by the histogram and my triangles. So that's definitely a thing. I'm going to try to get something up over here. 2 seconds. How's everyone's day going? Thanks for stopping by, everyone. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to share my passion, and I like streaming. I like talking to people, even when my throat's deciding to want to hate me. I'm gonna bring up some things. 2 seconds. See, now I understand why the hosts have such a problem during the show. They're not doing tech and everything. Just kidding. Let me look at the YouTube chat. Oh, and then now my brother Alex is now in the YouTube chat. Say hi to them. Alex, a lot of these people are awesome people that come watch the show I work on. Social Distancing Social Club. Really cool group of people, and I'm glad all of you came. Real quick, more plugs. Can you see that? Yep. This is my website. This is my food website. This is from the Farm Brugesa shoot, and hoping to add more photos to my website. This is VirginiaFoodPhotography.com. VirginiaFoodPhotography.com. This is Chef Eddie from Anchor Grill. He is awesome, and to be honest, the reason I want to learn Spanish. His English isn't good, but he's an amazing chef. There's the fire, Savannah, if you're still here. Probably not, but there's that fire picture. But if you have not yet read my blog, I would love if you could do that. All you go. English is the thing. All you do is you go up to the top right where it says blog. Click that. It will load slowly. No, it won't. And then right here that was Farm Brugesa, Mama Crockett's, Anchor Grill, Walkology. Those are all the Beyond the Plating so far. If you want to also read about the green onion pancakes that I make, a recipe from my mom, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, VirginiaFoodPhotography.com. In the blog section. Thank you so much for your kind words, everybody. Thank you so much for your compliment, Tam, and everybody for coming here. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat real quick. Otherwise, I'll talk about Leonore just a little bit because it was really cool seeing someone with so much passion and his restaurant, and he's been killing it during this pandemic. His social media is very active. Definitely go on Facebook. Even if you're never going to come to Virginia into Roanoke, every like helps a business get exposure. Leonore Restaurant. Let me see if I can find it on the Facebook and show you guys real quick, because he definitely deserves a shout out. And the parallels of, getting his passion for cooking from his mother, and pursuing that passion of cooking and doing things and losing his mother, and it all hits right here in the TikTok box. Not that TikTok, but the heart thing. Yeah, the heart. Let's see. I gotta close all these things so you don't realize how much of a creep I am. Leonore Restaurant. In Roanoke. Definitely check them out. And he's got some, I don't know where he gets these pictures, but they're awesome. He's constantly, and the business, it's probably more than just him. I only talk to him. I know he's got a dedicated staff, because they are, oh, there's us. Hey, look at us. Right there. Dedicated staff. He's been killing it. Delivery, new items. It looks like he's going to start doing empanadas. And just his passion for not only food, but for people is very inspiring. So I can't wait to type these out. I can't give you a time, because there's some days where I'm like, I don't wanna do anything. I still got a lot of photos to go through, which is, I was happy to see that. I was worried I didn't have enough. But, I lost train of thought again. Let me check chat. Doing a show by yourself is hard. No wonder there's 4 of those people. Yes, please. Carl, definitely read. It's worth a read. You just learn different stories. They're easy reads. My wife does a lot of the editing, because I talk in circles, and my dad's messaging me. He couldn't get the chat to work on. My dad's a TV engineer. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Love you, Dad. Yes, please do read. They're great stories. It helps me a lot. If you comment on the website, it gets my webpage higher on the search results. Everything helps. I just want to share people's stories. And another idea I have for a series is like 7 Degrees. It's like I talk to a chef, and then they refer to me as a chef that's outside the area. And that's how I do the blog stories. That's how I connect with people, is recommendations from other chefs and people. So I think that would be really, really cool. I also want to do a YouTube series, but I just don't have the resources to do it. And the way I want to do it, like, I see plenty of people be like, yeah, I'm a chef. I'll do what I just need one camera and I can do a show and it's entertaining. I'm like, absolutely. I am a professional video and photo person, so that matters more to me than most other people. And I hopefully won't let that stop me. I'm going to start editing a video on Monday. It's a recipe for pad caprao. My friends over at Farm Burguesa hooked me up with some ground beef early pandemic, and I made my favorite recipe out of it. So I hope to show that to you guys at some point. Oh, Dad, I'm sorry. I started something. I'll have to apologize to him in a minute. Love you, Dad. Otherwise, I think that'll be it for the rest of the day. You guys can... what is my social? Social on Instagram. Tailored Photog is my regular Instagram. And my food Instagram is Tailored Food. If you have any problems finding those, you can find it on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/tailoredphotog as well. Most of you probably found the event. I've invited you and all those types of things. And yeah, I think that'll do it for now. Thank you all so much for coming. It means a lot. And thank you to Andrea and Tam for donating to me. That was really kind of both of you. And hopefully I'll be able to put this on YouTube. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.